Hi, and welcome to Scream With Me, where I discuss my favorite horror movies and run my mouth about them. Today, what have I got? The last video I did Vacancy 2, and some people might say, well, why did you do that one first? It's a prequel, yeah, so that's the way I watch them now. Same thing with The Thing, you know? So today I'm going to do the 2007 movie that I love called Vacancy. Yeah, love this movie. Vacancy is from 2007. It stars Kate Beckinsale, Miss Underworld, Celine. Do I hear Celine? And Luke Wilson and Frank Whaley. I didn't know Frank Whaley then, but I know who Frank Whaley is now. That's pretty cool. But the tagline: a married couple becomes stranded at an isolated motel and find hidden video cameras in their room. They soon realize that unless they escape, they'll be the next victims of a snuff film. Very 8 millimeter, yeah? Love that Nick Cage movie, 8 millimeter. Um, I really love this movie. I love the banter between the two. They were so great because you could tell that they kind of wish they were in love with each other, but you know they're not in love with each other, and they know that it will never work, you know. And so the banter that they have at the beginning of the movie, when they are kind of lost and they have the banter about who won't use a map and who thinks they know how to directions. So they brought in those kind of tropes that everybody knows, and I think it worked really well for the movie to set up the atmosphere between them. So when they get to the motel and they check in, you can tell things are a little bit creepy. You can tell things are not quite what they are, but they kind of feel it too. I mean, hey, if I walked into a motel room and, if I walked into a motel and went into the office and I heard all this screaming and stuff, I'm not sure that even his behavior when he came out would have convinced me that it was okay to stay. I think I would have probably left anyway. But, hey, they didn't have a whole hell of a lot of a choice, so that would kind of change. I don't think they would have stayed if they weren't in the situation that they were in. So I think that kind of unlike the prequel, which they intentionally stopped there. They weren't out of gas or anything like that. They really were just tired and needing a place to stay. So this one is a lot different in that they really didn't have much of a choice. I remember being like really right there with them when they were in the motel room, because like I said, back when this movie came out, nobody knew what was going on. So I can remember how sort of when he discovers that the videos that they're watching are in the room that they are, that really creeped me out because they really made it to where you felt it with them as it occurred, and then the trouble started. And the fight scenes are remarkable in the movie, lots of tension. I really did think, that he was dead at the end. Sort of just like she did. I thought she was dead. So they did everything perfect in this film, in my opinion. The cinematography was great, the acting was great. I mean, come on, both of them are great. And Kate Beckinsale is wonderful in this movie. So I really loved it all the way around, upside down, around and over. So everything was really exciting. Uh, this movie pulled off everything really great. And of course, you have them battling for their lives. The kills were excellent. The their attempts to get away. I remember when they got into the office, and that was an amazing fight scene. Everything about it. I keep wanting to confuse. I keep wanting to confuse some of the kills with the prequel, because I did like the prequel just as much, and I really enjoyed. It sort of makes you watch this movie in a different light, because now that you know how it all began, and how it turned from porno to snuff films, how it was all an accident, and then became what it is now, was really beyond the pale. So yeah, this is definitely one of my really highly rated movies from the 2000s. I love it beyond belief. I really like the prequel that they made. I do think it sets it up and gives you a full picture. My Five Finger Death Punch shirt. But I do think it gives you a full picture and makes everything. And I love that. I really love The Thing. What they did with The Thing, I loved as well. I'd like to do a video on that too, because that's now one big movie to me. And I can watch these two back to back. You watch the prequel and then you watch this one back to back, and I think it works perfectly. I think it works absolutely perfectly to make one big long story, and that's really cool in my opinion. So I was really happy with them revisiting this. I think they could have made more, in my opinion. The first one, I mean, yeah, the prequel, it didn't get a lot of hate. So I don't know why they never made another one. Maybe it just cleared it up. Maybe they just wanted to go back, complete the cycle, complete the circle, and make it one little thing. And they did. They really did. I mean, desiring a sequel always comes with risk. You can end up with a joyride or a wrong turn. They can go places you don't want them to go, change the genre like those two franchises did. So you're not really sure whether you're happy they didn't make another sequel. But if they could have made another sequel in the same vein as this, I would have been it would have been cool. But either way, I've still got this one long story. 2007 Vacancy. If you don't have it in your collection, you really should. And the prequel as well. So yeah, Vacancy, Kate Beckinsale, Luke Wilson. Did you see me peek? But yeah, I want to keep. Why I peeked? Because I always want to mix him up with Patrick Wilson, and I don't know why. And then there's also like the Beach Boys and stuff. Lots of Wilsons. Brian Wilson. I always want to confuse Luke Wilson with Brian Wilson and Patrick Wilson, and it's like, okay. But there you go. Vacancy. Loved it. Glad to have it in my collection. Everything about it was perfect in my opinion. Great beginning, great middle. All three acts were wonderful. And I'm really glad that they made a prequel to it to complete the story, leaving you with no questions. So all around, both of them are a wonderful story. And I will see you in the next one, and thank you very much for listening to me jabber.